Y'all, we're gonna start today's video off with a crazy announcement. I'm sure you guys have noticed that my upload schedule has been trashed lately. I have this thing called work in a business that takes precedence over YouTube. Unfortunately, that's how it is. I would love to make YouTube videos daily. I thoroughly enjoy making content daily for the people that enjoy it, for the haters, for people that just want to watch, people that want to put it on their TV in the shop. I'd like to have higher quality content, but I'm sure, as you guys noticed over the years, as I've gotten busier with other business ventures, my YouTube quality kind of fallen off. I don't really like that. I've kind of known it was an issue. I've been trying to power through it, and I'd have some spurts where it'd come back up, but I'm to the point now where I am looking to hire a full-time cinematographer, filmer, marketing person, YouTube expert. I want to hire someone to run the YouTube channel while I'm busy doing the other stuff. Not saying I don't want to be involved with this. I still want to be involved with it, but you'll see a lot of other YouTube channels that have a filmer, a full-time filmer. I've had Dave, or I've had Mason, or I've had Logan, or I've had Wes film for me, and they all have other jobs that they're doing here that they just kind of help and pick up the slack. So it's a lot harder to just film a video yourself the whole time. So I'm looking to hire a person to come in that has media experience, that has a cinematography background, that knows how to edit, that's familiar with uploading YouTube videos, that is, I'd say, have some basic knowledge for marketing as far as for doing giveaways and stuff like that. I'm looking to hire someone. Look at the national average for salary. That's where we'll be starting out, plus perks on top of that. So I'm not asking for someone to come here after work. I'm asking for someone to make this their work. So if you guys know of anyone or are interested or want to I guess apply for this job, you can send me an email at lsnastyllc@gmail.com. Subject line would be media position. But I'm not looking to get someone that doesn't know what they're doing. I'm looking for a professional in this field, and I think the salary will represent that. If you film on your iPhone and have a YouTube video, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not what I'm looking for. So just keep that in mind. I'm looking for experts. I would be asking for examples of your content and stuff like that going forward. And with what we do, it's a full-time job, so I'd expect to see you here 5 days a week. And there are times where we go travel and go on little field trips with what we're doing. If we're going to the chassis shop, if we're going to TKM. I also do the marketing for them up there as well, so assisting with that would be part of the job titles. And then when we race on weekends, obviously we would expect to have you at the racetrack to film, handle all the GoPros, handle the mics, handle all of the filming, be able to edit, and really just elevate. I'm looking for someone that's got a highly skilled cinematography background to do the nice B-roll edits, do the intros, make the badass TikToks, make the badass Instagram reels, take the nice photos, and go from there. I'm really trying to, I understand that I can only do so much myself. The storm business has picked up, and it's gotten so busy that I have to do that, and that takes precedence over this. But if I have someone else doing this, I think we can master both of them. So if you guys are interested, please send me an email, lsnastyllc@gmail.com, and enjoy today's video. All right, y'all, it's been a while since we have talked about race cars, but we are back, and we are talking about Hank. For those of you guys that don't know what Hank is, it is our 2000 to, 04? 99 to 04? 99 to 04 New Edge Mustang that we had a blast with. We originally bought it as a giveaway vehicle, and then we ended up building it from the ground up. Pretty much started with just a Mustang body, and it had a 6-point bolt-in cage, and we didn't know where we were going to go, but we ended up building a turbo kit in-house, built a motor in-house, had a transmission laying there, rebuilt the rear end, pretty much all the parts. We did this thing from head to toe, front to back, from scratch. We went out and had a blast with this car. First time ever driving it down at Mustang Week, doing burnouts, doing ride-alongs in the car, multiple ride-alongs, driving it on the street, running races with it, all steel, all glass, other people driving it. It's been an absolutely awesome car for the channel and for the guys. I think we've all really just had a blast with Hank. And last year, towards the end of the season, we kind of realized that it needed some safety updates, and we were going to upgrade the cage, and the build kind of evolved. And one thing I didn't want to lose in the build was the ability to do ride-alongs. I think it's a pretty unique vehicle in moment for people to be able to hop in a race car and go make a pass. So we sent the car down to Larson down at B&B Chassis and Fab, and he absolutely knocked this thing out the park. So when we brought it to him, it was a stock-ish Mustang with a bolt-in K-member. and had some parts of a funny car cage in there, and don't mind the paint. It's not painted yet, obviously. This is straight out the chassis shop. We're going to put a motor in it, build a turbo kit, and get it wired and painted. But this is what we got right now. This is the new Hank. So first off, you can look at this thing and you can tell it is not like Hank was before. Hank sat pretty good before, but it was factory style rear suspension, didn't have torque boxes or anything in it. Now it's got a badass 4-link in it. It's got a narrowed rear end. It's got some 15 by 13. Sorry, I was losing my train of thought there. 15 by 13 RC comp wheels on there. It's got strange double roller bearing, whatever. It's not a floater, but it's this badass stuff that you can get to a floater. It's got the Evo low profile brakes. What has it look? Does that look good? You think that looks good? Yeah? Okay. We got Carolina's approval, so we're good there. That looks good, doesn't it? Would you just look at it? That thing's gonna fly, isn't it? It is gonna fly. So the fitment on it, Larson built the rear end. It's got Hammer Concepts 4-link brackets on the rear end housing. It's like a work of art under there. The back half on this car is absolutely... Who's in there?
Uncle Logan.
Uncle Logan's in there? He's getting comfortable in there. The back half on this thing is absolutely unbelievable. Looks great. And one thing that like Larson knocked out of the park is like, look at the fitment. Like the way the wheel just sits inside the fender. It is absolutely perfect.
Plenty of room.
We have room to go down even lower, which we probably will. You guys know me, you know I like my cars just slammed on the ground. And then he did some like other trick things. Like I said, hey, I want to like cut the bumper back because I think it looks cool when you're like standing behind the car on the start line and the car separates as it goes down track. You can kind of like see up its skirt a little bit. You can see like the rear end. So he trimmed it. And again, we have no paint and body done, but you can see you got the QA1 mod shocks hanging out. You can see the 4-link brackets. It's badass. The chassis side 4-link, it's got Dan Newman race cars. They're infinite adjustable 4-link brackets, which I think are pretty sweet. And Larson hooked it up back here with a nice parachute mount with the push bar adapter on there. Yeah, hit it one more time. Felix hooked us up with a wing. Logan, what's Felix's company called? Drag Solutions. Drag Solutions, a custom wing. This thing's nice. I like my wings. I like my wings pretty big, but I think it looks great. We did fiberglass deck lid, fiberglass doors, carbon fiber front clip, tinted windows. So it's got the Lexan windows on there. And like I said, we're still working on it. It's still got some work that needs to get done, and then we're gonna paint it this crazy blue. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I mean it looks. The stance, I'm super happy with. I'm happy with everything. What do you think, Dave? Dave's favorite car. Dave, who's filming right now, hit selfie cam real quick. Dave's favorite car is a New Edge. So it's like if
great example of what a New Edge should look like.
This is how they should sit. It's got no motor in it, so it'll sit lower in the front. Yeah. It's probably gonna go just a hair lower in the rear. You can go 3 inches on the front bumper, and you can go 2 on the rockers. It's very low. It becomes inconvenient at that point, but
it looks badass.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna start peeling this thing off. Like I said, it's actually got Carlton Thompson's carbon fiber front end, so we gotta do some work to that. But the way the front end goes on and off, Larson did an absolutely amazing job. So, like I said, I just brought him a bucket of parts, and he was able to make it right. So, I'm excited. We'll pull it off, and we'll show you more parts. And then we'll pop the doors off. I haven't had the doors off of it yet. We might as well take them off to work on the car.
Yeah.
All right.
How you boys doing in there?
We're actually gonna let CJ click the button because we know he can't hold it to the floor.
Oh, so he can see what it feels like. Just
I'm gonna hold the trans brake. Logan's gonna bump.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna release for him.
I'm here for it. I'll be filming it.
You know whose ass we're gonna go across?
Who?
Todd Wester and Chase.
Oh, both 2.
I approve of the first.
So we're gonna go to like Z-Max and do like a 3-wide.
4-way fucking ass whooping.
All right, so Larson went to town up here. We cut the tube front end off before we took it to him. We're running a Racecraft Outlaw style K-member, so you have to. I got it set up to run off of a tube front end, so it comes with these brackets that the K-member then bolts onto. So we knew we were going to run a tube front end for it. I pretty much left it up to Larson, said, "Hey, do whatever you want as far as the tube front end." But one thing I just want to make sure is, we got this bar as far forward because we got to put a fuel tank and a turbo up here. He knocked it out of the park. He cut all the stuff around the strut tower out, supported it. I mean, dude, it looks absolutely awesome. It is bad to the bone. Running a mid plate and a motor plate. Depending on some rules, you can't have that like we want to run. If we want to run PDRA Super Street with this car, you can't have the mid plate attached to the firewall. That's what the rules say, even though some people run the car in there. But I mean, that's what it is. It's not my chicken there. So Larson made an absolutely awesome mid plate mount for this, where it goes to the frame and it comes to the upper bar, so it should be very rigid. The mid plate takes a lot of the brunt, so you want to make sure the mid plate's supported really well. Nice belly pan in there. That looks awesome. Again, he did everything in-house, and it just looks great. Everything looks like it's supposed to with that Outlaw style K-member. You drop the belly pan, you could drop the whole oil pan of the car without having to take the motor out, so you can work on it if it is something where you want to decide, hey, we're going to put a set of rods in this thing, which we won't do because it's an LS. It'll get a set of rods every like 2 or 3 years and just run. So with this, the configuration we're going to run initially is a stock block 408 cubic inch LS, but we have some other motors already getting built. So from here up front, this is kind of where I'm going to take over. We're going to put a fuel tank up here. Probably going to stick the fuel tank outside here and then have Larson come up and then run some sort of bracing for that. But we're going to do a center mount turbo, single turbo, whether it's 106, 114, 122. We'll have it set up and it can do any of those. Dual exhaust out the sides. Very, I'd say similar to the Black Sheep, but kind of its own twist. Just because it's Hank, not the Black Sheep. But the work up here looks absolutely awesome. We got some AFCO big gun struts, 2-inch drop spindle, all the racecraft stuff. I mean, stiletto racks. Got the billet strange rack, which it's absolutely gangster. Steering column clearance is very good as well. I mean, there's just, I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff on here that is right. It's nice. It's got a bunch of room. It's open. The front end goes on, absolutely awesome. He hung the tree in the front end, put the brackets on here. The front end out of all the cars goes on probably the easiest. If you can notice, he went to the junkyard, found a Mustang, cut the quarters off of it, and welded them to the car. So that's like one thing, if you work with race cars and taking the front ends on and off, you'll know like that hits the door a lot, it gets caught on the tire, scratches the rim. So having that fixed to the car, that's like nice. A big upgrade. Also, didn't have this stuff, so he went to the junkyard and got that. So a big shout to Larson, just really going the extra mile. Got the windows in there, didn't go with optic armor, went with shakedown glass. So they're out of Texas. They did an absolutely great job. Half the price, way faster lead time. So I was very happy with it. It looks great. We got a nice front window brace on there, which that looks awesome as well. Factory firewall car. Factory floors, kind of. They're in there somewhere. How much of them? We don't know, but they're in there. But inside here, everything looks great. We went with a single frame rail on this. Small block, lower horsepower car, didn't feel the need to have a double frame rail. So pretty simple. It's got a trans tunnel. I put the trans tunnel in there solely for the passenger. I'm good with riding next to a transmission. A lot of people aren't. So knowing that, well, look at how thin this is, right? Yeah. This is not, if the transmission comes apart, it's tearing through that.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind for the passenger.
Yeah.
But the cage work looks great. John Gibbons did the initial cage because we were just gonna do 25.5 and torque boxes, and then the build kind of evolved. And I don't know if you can see back there, Dave, on just all of the bars, the tubs. I mean, Larson went off.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he went wild. So
that's nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. And there's a couple things like we still have to. It's not done. We're in the. This is the middle stages of building a race car. Really, I need to put it on a lift. I'm gonna get it. My goal today is if I can weld some Pro-Jack tabs on it, get it on Pro-Jacks. It's got them on the back. It needs them in the front. I got to figure out where we're gonna put them in the front. Get it up on Pro-Jacks so we can get underneath it, take a look underneath, show you guys that. Probably not in this video. Probably another video to look under the skirt of Hank. But yeah, I mean it's great. Parachute handle. I tried to build this car as much passenger friendly in mind, so the parachute handle is going forward instead of over in front of the passenger's face. We are gonna have to do some modifying to that RaceTech seat, so all of my guys at RaceTech, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna start hacking that thing up. And I'm sorry, it's a great seat. Do I recommend doing that? No. Are we doing it? Yes. Do as I say, not as I do. What else, dude? I mean, it looks great in here. Everything's painted.
Nice.
We're gonna be hanging, dash is gonna go off the steering column. We're gonna try to hang all of the HOLLEY stuff up on the this bar here, so there's nothing in the floor over there. The biggest thing I don't know where to put is the CO2 bottle. Like
Behind the passenger seat.
Behind it?
Yeah.
I like to be able to see it from the driver's seat. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with it. I might put it like over here.
Honestly, hear me out. You could probably mount it under the dash. I mean, you might even be able to somehow rig it up somewhere over in this corner.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have plenty of room for your feet.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the trucks we drive around daily have a big pole for a computer mount in the passenger seat. So I mean, the CO2 bottle would be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks good.
Hear me out. You could just put a pole coming up right here about where your left leg sits.
Yep, just like you're in the trucks. Shout out to Ram mounts. They like make all the laptop mounts for like cop cars. I have some in some of my work trucks so we can work in them. But hey, come over here. Look at this. The
pedals. Yeah,
the pedals. Cameron Johnson titanium pedal kit. This is badass. Yes. You can see it welds into the floor, so it's adjustable. So once you get your adjustment set up, it's got an adjuster right here too. That goes into the brake. The brake master's on the outside, so super clean look. Yeah, it is. It looks absolutely badass. I'm stoked with it. I mean, this thing is awesome. I think this is going to be like the workhorse on the channel. This is going to be we're going to take this to, you know, back to the Red Springs, back to 710, Galot Thursday nights if they ever run, because Galot just doesn't run races anymore. If it rains within the calendar month, Galot cancels. Big salary behavior out of that place. Unbelievable. If you want to race, you go to Darlington Dragway. They always be racing. We're actually doing a private testing next Wednesday at Darlington's 200, and you test from 10 a.m. until midnight. $200 radial prep that whole time. So if you're interested, hit me up on Facebook, or just show up and have your $200. Darlington Dragway, private testing, radial, race cars only. Anything else, Dave, you just want to go over this? This is the first look. I mean, we're going to do a lot of videos showing the build series. This car is going to PRI next year. It's going to be in the Race Tech booth, and we hope to have a TV stand of this thing going fast with some awesome videos of ride-alongs, pulling wheelies, you know, just doing, I mean, maybe not pulling like big wheels, maybe just like little ones.
Just little ones?
Yeah, but
you have a video of it pulling a pretty nice wheelie.
Lots of ass whooping to be done with this thing. So I'm stoked. Larson, B&B Chassis and Fab knocked it out of the park. Did an absolutely amazing job. Can't thank him and his team enough. I'm super pleased with it. And I will say this he is the first time I took a car to the shop and for a large build. You know, I don't want to, no shade to any of the chassis shops I use. I use Matt Fab. He does an absolutely amazing job on all the cars. He does a lot of like little stuff for us, swapping 4 links, mounting front ends. He did a bunch of work on Eddie Murphy. Love him. He does a great job. Chris Herring, Chris Herring shop, HRT, sorry, HRT Unlimited. Chris and Camden Herring, they do an absolutely stellar job. Can't thank them enough for all the work they've done, and working with them has been a pleasure. But Larson was the probably 4th or 5th shop I just took the car to. Like, hey, we're gonna build a whole car from the ground up. If you guys have been watching for a while, know the Salty Chicken build that ended terribly. The Colorado, that ended terribly. The Blizzard, that ended terribly. This was my 4th attempt, and Larson got it done. So big shout out to Larson, B&B Chassis and Fab. He went in there. I had a dream of, hey, I want a badass 4-link race car, and he did it. So I can't thank him enough, and I can't recommend him enough. So check him out. And yeah, I mean, this thing is bad to the bone. Logan, what do you got to say? Stick your head in here and just tell him, give him your thoughts. Stick your head in here and give him your thoughts.
I'm excited for it. I think we've kind of had a little bit of a gap this year, I think, because we didn't get to do nearly as much racing, because the level of racing we're at now is not one every weekend. With this car, we'll be able to go back to places like Red Springs, Rico's, Piedmont, stuff like that, and be able to race it every week, really. The LS stuff requires way less maintenance. We ain't got to change the transmission fluid every 8 passes, put new bearings in the stator and stuff like that. So we're still going to race at a high level, but we're still going to enjoy this too. Make it where we're back at the racetrack every weekend, putting out good videos and shit like that. So,
and also
oh yeah. If you are looking for a position,
I'm hiring full-time position. I want someone to film and just do videos for me. So full-time job. Hopefully you're local to North Carolina, because I don't plan on having to rehome someone. But it's going to pay, you know, national average salary. And I want someone to be able to film and edit YouTube videos, do TikTok, do Instagram, and other marketing stuff. And there's other monetary opportunities as well. But I think a good, strong base salary is, you know, key to success. So hit me up. You can send me an email, lsnastyllc@gmail.com if you're interested. If you don't, like, I'm not looking for someone that like films on an iPhone. I'm looking for someone that's like a true professional. Pay someone a professional salary and have a professional filmer. So that's what I'm looking for. That's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna get to work on this. I'm gonna put some project tabs on it, get up in the air. Maybe the next video will be like showing you guys underneath this thing.
We're gonna do some racing or testing here sooner or later. Maybe some racing. Who knows?